Former Israeli President Moshe Katzav's defense today was riddled with lies, according to a court ruling by the judges of the Tel Aviv District Court, who found Katzav guilty of rape on Thursday. Katzav was convicted of raping and sexually assaulting a former employee at the tourism ministry. He was also convicted of sexually harassing H from the president's residence, of sexually abusing and harassing L from the president's residence, and of obstruction of justice. According to the court's verdict, the judges found that Katsav used edited tapes, partial transcripts, unrealistic date books, unfounded statements, and prepared testimonies as part of his court defense. The judges also found that his testimony was riddled with lies and that all along his story excelled, quote-unquote, in manipulation and withholding information. Is this any surprise to any of you? Any of you who are following what happens in Israel and the type of bloodthirsty politics that goes on there? These people are demons. These people elect demons. They want demons to rule them. They're holding on to some kind of demonic karma from the past, and they feel that they have some kind of special place, they being the Jewish people generally, not every Jew, feel in Israel, feel that they have some kind of special place in the world to enact God's will. And so it seems that anything that is done in order to carry out God's will, because anything Israeli is God's will, didn't you know this? Anything, and you know there's Christian Zionists in America who believe this also, that anything the Israelis do is God's will and you cannot oppose them. It seems that the Israelis believe this themselves. You know, in India, often Brahmanas fall from their position of spirituality and of attainment. Brahmanas being the highest spiritual caste in India. They often fall because you cannot be born into a spiritual hierarchy and retain your position as an angelic, associate of the Lord. You can't, as a servitor rather, I shouldn't say associate, as a servitor. You can't attain this high position just from being born into it. You can't hold on to it by being born into it. And the idea that the Jews have, that they are these privileged people, has caused so much suffering on our planet. So, is this any surprise to you that this is what's going on in the upper echelons of the Israeli leadership? These people are cold-hearted, bloodthirsty, macho, machismo running type people. They're elected to be violent extremists. They're elected to be the warlords of Israel in order that they can hold on to the power which they have secured because they think that it's God's will. Have you ever heard of an American president being arrested for sexual charges and rape? Okay, yeah, Bill Clinton supposedly, got some kind of sexual favor from somebody in office. That may or may not have been a setup. Lewinsky, I heard that Monica Lewinsky was a Mossad agent, actually. It might have been just a setup to screw poor Bill over and to make sure that he snapped in line with the Zionist global agenda, for lack of a better word. That there is such a thing as a Zionist global agenda is just self-evident. That by the creation of the State of Israel, it's self-evident. There is some kind of massive Israeli conspiracy that has gone on in this past century. So it appears to be a case of a shark being thrown to the sharks when that particular shark messes up. So you have to wonder what was going on with this guy, that he was taken by the other sharks and thrown into the feeding frenzy.